Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Once again, we're live with a great topic today because I thought everyone would love to hear my take on this. And I also want your take on it. So let's talk about this. The title is correct. Bayern could sell Davies and Musiala. No, the title is Davies and Musiala to leave Bayern. Well, let me say this. And I'm going to say this once. Bayern are not a selling club. All you prem-sexuals on Twitter, ooh, we could get Musiala. We could sign Davies. You geeks, you dorks of the highest accords, you need to relax. You need pills of chill. That's what you need. Because there's no way on this earth, nada, that Bayern become a selling club. We don't need to sell to make money. In fact, when we have a positive net spend, it feels weird. Just like last summer, it felt weird. We all felt, are we supposed to be here? You know, it's like a polar bear in Arlington, Texas. Bayern's net spend being positive. I don't remember the last time we had a positive net spend because we don't sell players. And when we do sell them, it's because they're washed or they really wanted to leave. See, let me put things into perspective. Bayern were so willing to not sell our player that we told Robert Lewandowski, you're staying. You signed a contract, you're staying. We're willing to let a player of Alaba's quality leave for free than sell him. Because for us, it's better to have him play because we're competing for things. We're trying to be one of the best clubs in the world, or if not the best. But let me say this. The reason I'm doing this show is because an account on Twitter called The Secret Scout. Yeah, that's how you know, guys. They're really the secret scout. That's how you know they're right, because their name says The Secret Scout. Well, they said Man City will target Jamal Musiala to replace Kevin De Bruyne. And also, Musiala, in an interview, they asked him about the Prem because whenever he's doing an interview in English, these reporters will do everything in their power to ask him about leaving or anything like that. So they asked him about the Premier League, and he said he's comfortable with Bayern and he wants to be here and this is his home. And then he said, but you never know in a few years what could happen. Like any normal player answers. And of course, as always, the Premtards, they went in. Oh, Musiala. You had Man United fans saying, yo, come to us. Again, that's why I prefaced this entire segment by saying Bayern are not a selling club. We rejected a 100 million, probably pound, had to have been euros, a 100 million euro offer from Man United for Thomas Müller. We did that before. And by the way, Müller was probably thinking about it because the money would have made sense. But Bayern showed him we ain't considering selling you. So at the end of the day, these footballers have a job. It's their job. It just so happens that it's an amazing job, which a lot of people want. But at the end of the day, at the root of it, it's just a job to these guys. It's the way they feed their family. And for them, they're going to go where they feel comfortable and the work environment is great and the working conditions are great. You know, it's like if the working conditions are perfect at Google, why the hell would you move? Why would you go to a startup? That's how these players see it. So they're always trying to upgrade. Everyone's trying to upgrade in life. Women are trying to upgrade their mans. Mans are trying to upgrade their cars so they can get the women that want the cars that they have. Everyone's always looking to upgrade. But at Bayern, once you're here, you're at the upper echelon of European football, of world football. Everyone knows you. You play in the most prestigious competitions and you're expected to win. This is the upper echelon. But the money is probably the only thing that could make a player want to leave Bayern. I think Alaba left here and got a bigger wage package at Madrid. And sometimes players get bored, like Thiago. It certainly wasn't the money. I think Thiago, objectively speaking now, regrets the move to Liverpool because he just went there and got injured more. Whereas at Bayern, our doctors understood his body and how to manage him, and our system was better for his body made of glass. Sometimes players leave like Bastian Schweinsteiger did because, hey, I want to try a different club before I retire because I don't want to be a one club man, while some players want to be a one club man. So there's no doubt in my mind that at some point in the future, Davies or Musiala could leave Bayern, or any other player we have here. They could leave at 27, 29, 30, whatever. They could leave, just like Harry Kane left Tottenham. He could have, Tottenham is not an elite club. I mean, they're not winning, right? So Kane leaving them isn't as much of a surprise if a player from Bayern left. The point is, there are reasons to leave Bayern, but not because of footballing success, or at least not a few years ago. And this is where my take gets shocking. The reason our players are feeling comfortable withholding contract talks is because they're wondering, what's the club's ambition? Harry Kane is the only player I can think of in the last 5 years that we signed that showed the rest of the world we meant business. Sané, kind of an obvious signing. I mean, German guy in England. What's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? So you might as well take him out of his misery with Pep, bring him in, boom, it works out. And let's be fair, it's working out now, but it could still go back to what we've been having from Sané, which is a great first half of the season, and then a complete capitulation and inconsistency in the second half of the season. So we're not sure which Sané we're getting, if we're getting a Sané for the entire season. But the point is, now don't bring up Lucas Hernandez because he snaked us and his performances don't prove that. What I mean is, we haven't signed anyone apart from Kane that put a statement to the rest of the world that Bayern mean business. We have not signed a global superstar. PSG in the same time period got Neymar, got Mbappe. The names, they got Messi on a free kind of thing. The names, right? And I'm not saying you need those superstars. What I'm saying is statement signings. We haven't made many statement signings. When we got Davies, it was just smart. Oh, young kid in the MLS, great potential, bring him in. And we actually brought him in to replace Robin, and he ended up replacing Alaba. Hilarious, right? Musiala, not a statement signing. We paid $250,000 or euros for Kane, for Musiala. Not even €500,000. And he's one of our best players. So the point isn't that Bayern need to start signing, getting a Harry Kane kind of player every window. But we got to do it consistently. Once every 2 years, whatever it is. A player that just elevates the team and gets us to a new level. And it's more disappointing due to the fact that we had Hansi Flick, a manager that I still think was perfect for us. I don't know if people are just forgetting. I know I used to complain about Flick and his obnoxious obsession with Alaba and playing him and Boateng at the back. Flick was just crazy, bro. This man would just play a high line with Alaba and Boateng while Lucas Hernandez was there. And in hindsight, Flick was a genius because he knew Lucas would be a snake. He knew it. Took care of him throughout his hospital days, and he snaked us. Ugh, disgusting. You know, we gave her, all our kids, our sperm, our money. We got old, and she divorced us. That's what happened with Lucas, man. She divorced us and took our kids and half our wealth. Disgusting behavior from Lucas. I never want to see you again at Bayern. Not even your brother. Okay, maybe Theo Hernandez, you know what I'm saying? One brother didn't work out. Let's move on to the other. Come on, man. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So the point I'm making here is that when we lost Thiago and Hansi Flick was flying high and we were performing, he made his mistakes, but we had a team and we didn't make any statement signings after winning everything. We didn't tell the rest of the world, we're not done. We want more. We let Thiago leave, Alaba leave, and we just sat there. We all knew we need a midfielder. We need someone to come in and just elevate our game. Everyone, we all knew. We were sitting here complaining every stream. You guys saw me. Miserable. Oh, I want Thiago. I was crying, bro. I turned into a sissy the entire time. Guess what? The club kept putting it off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about 3 years in since Thiago left. Still no replacement. Still none of that. Javi Martinez left us in that time period. I mean, he wasn't really a starter, but he still was an option for us in midfield. The point is, the club didn't go all out. In that time period, Tchouameni and Camavinga went to Real Madrid. We weren't even linked to any of them. We were just chilling, like, oh, we'll use Kimmich and Goretzka. And then after a season of Kimmich and Goretzka not working, we still thought, oh, let's just get Marc Roca. I mean, yeah, COVID happened, of course. But COVID was really only a thing for about 8 months because the club started going back to normal after that. We started just playing games. We were making revenue. In fact, we're the only club in Europe that made a profit every COVID year, even if it was a minimal profit. The point is our books were the same, basically. We just made less money like everyone else. But then COVID stopped, and the club just decided, yeah, let's make a bunch of average signings. We started getting players like Sabitzer. And again, I would sit here on live streams and be like, we still need a Thiago replacement. Sabitzer is only good for Leipzig. He's a Leipzig-level player. He's not a Bayern-level player. And everyone was like, give him a chance. He's out with Dortmund now. And he went out on loan because he sucks. All right. I should say I told you so, but you guys don't care. Most of you agreed with me anyways, you freaking sheep. Oh, George said it. I agree now. You guys need your own opinions. You need to disagree with me more. You need to start clowning me in these comments right now as we speak. The point is, the club neglected key players and key positions, and we paid for it with atrocious Champions League performances. And perhaps you can say Nagelsmann could have done better. Yeah, I agree. Of course, any manager could have done better. Flick could have had us playing better. But in my eyes, we played perfect. So there's always improvements to be. Pep could probably be a better coach. There's always going to be improvements. The point is that the club neglected key players in key positions. We should have been panic mode when Thiago left, finding a DM. We got Raka and Choupo-Moting and Bonasar. Imagine winning the treble, and that's your strength. You bring in Raka, Choupo-Moting, who, by the way, smart signing by the looks of it overall. But then Raka ended up at Leeds. Now he's back in Spain. We literally brought in a journeyman. And we all kind of felt like he wasn't Thiago's level, but we were willing to kind of give him a chance. The point is, we didn't bring in a world beater, and that's what we needed. We needed to just go to France and find Tchouameni. We needed to do that. But for some reason, we were just willing to be complacent. So when you read stories about players like Davies or Musiala, I don't think Musiala is considering leaving Bayern. I think Davies is thinking about it. I don't think he wants to leave Bayern, but I think he's thinking about it. And the reason he's thinking about it is he's looking at it like, yo, Madrid, they're always doing things. They're always improving. They're always competing for the Champions League. I might want to try that because Bayern are showing a lack of ambition. And it's perfect that we got Kane. Because if it were up to some of our board members, we would have gotten Niklas Füllkrug because he was cheaper and probably going to give us the same kind of goals. They could have really thought of it. These guys would have done that, man. They would have done that. If it was up to them, they would have brought in Füllkrug. But Kane, look at the level the club is being viewed at. We were viewed as Champions League favorites when all the Bayern fans knew we weren't. We need a DM before we can talk about winning this competition. Or even the Bundesliga. We need a DM before. We might not win against Leipzig this Saturday. thinking a draw, man. It just seems like such a Leipzig are in form, Bayern are coming back into form. It just sounds like a draw to me. And both teams go away like, that could have been better. The point is, Kane elevated us to a level we hadn't been elevated to before. I mean, we were just spoiled for so many years getting world-class strikers for peanuts. We never really had to buy a striker in the modern game. And the only striker we bought was Kane. I mean, Lewandowski came for free, so we didn't buy him. I guess we paid a bunch of money, all of that. But objectively speaking, we got him for free. So, look, ambition is what this club needs to show more of to keep players like Davies and Musiala forever. Because why would you want to go anywhere else when Bayern are doing better than all the other teams and paying you better than all the other teams? We can afford to pay Davies and Musiala a huge chunk of money. Also, I think Davies and Musiala need to perform this season, because if they don't, the club's going to start thinking about Florian Wirtz. Yo, chat, Lazar Samatsic. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that name. Lazar Samatsic. Remember when I used to call him that? Lazar. Guys, that guy is absolutely obliterating Serie A, apparently, at Udinese. What do you guys think about us considering him as a Florian Wirtz alternative when we eventually do go in for Florian Wirtz? And speaking of Wirtz, apparently Bayern could be analyzing him in January. And a bunch of Bayern fans are saying, why? You know what? I'm at a point where, why not? I don't know if Wirtz is worth 100 million euros. I think he's worth 60 million. No, I just have to look at it intelligently. I don't think a player of Wirtz's profile is that hard to find these days. There's just so many of them. I mean, Arda Güler from the Turkish league at Madrid, 18 years old, kind of plays like Florian Wirtz. Lazar Samatsic at Udinese understands German football because he is German and Serbian. He's cheap as heck and plays similar to Wirtz in a similar position and takes up similar roles. So I don't really think Wirtz should be that expensive. I mean, maybe 3 years ago, yeah, a player like him is so hard to find because it seemed like 10s were dying. But now you have 10s everywhere. Number 10s, these young, very tactically fluid players. They fluid like genders these days, man. You got players that could play 50 different roles in one game, and they're intelligent. So Wirtz is not really that unique. It's just everyone seems to think his ceiling specifically is very high, and he's showing. I think he needs to, I would just wait to see what Wirtz does throughout this entire season. I want to see if he gets Leverkusen into a top 4, if he gets, or a title race even, and not just him, he has teammates as well. If he gets Leverkusen to a Europa League semifinal or something like that, and how he performs against top-level opposition. We want to see more of that. We want to see variety in his game. So I wouldn't even go for Wirtz in January, but some sources were saying Bayern could do that. So I just wanted to mention that. So I'll get into reading the comments. So if you're typing comments and expecting me to read them, I'm still doing my thoughts, still thinking and talking. Look, I think Bayern are not a selling club. I know we're not. And okay, let me say this. I think one of the reasons there's such uncertainty around player contracts and everything else is because there's been so much chaos around the club. Apparently, Bayern were this close to agreeing a new contract with Alphonso Davies, with Brazo and the old board. And the only reason it postponed was because Davies' agent said, we don't know what's happening at Bayern right now. We'll wait and see if the club can get back to its structure. And that's actually understandable if you're being fair and reasonable. If you're just being an emotional fan, you think, what? Davies, you should just sign it. I mean, Davies is a professional and he has an agent that, Davies must be happy with because he still has has the same agent. The agent's just looking at it and going, we can wait and see if the club is stable. Because, okay, think about it. We all know the club's been a disaster since our old management came in. Well, our old management that was appointed by our old management. Okay, so here's what happened at Bayern. Here's what happened. We had, it's like a mob family. You had Don Corleone, who was doing well with the mob family. He was cooking. But he got to that age where, shooting people and disciplining employees, if that's what you're going to say, just wasn't fun anymore. He wanted to do something else, something he could be remembered for forever. He wanted to be a family man. So he gave up the business to someone younger with the same beliefs, his sons and his family, his younger people, right? He gave up the business. But then things went sideways, right? And his son got shot. So he had to come back for a little revenge. That's kind of how Bayern operated. We had our old dons, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Uli Hoeneß, these bowlers, these real gangsters that were cooking with the club for so many decades, literally decades, bruh. Not even 10 years, decades. These guys have been here for so long. They practically are the club. So those guys were doing everything in their power, built the club to what it is. But then they, wanted to spend time with their family because they were getting older. These men started working at Bayern in their late 30s, some of them early 40s, and they're now like almost 70. So they're like, yo, my kids have grown up. I want to spend time with my grandkids. And so, let me give Bayern over to the next generation. So they handpicked our next CEO, our next sporting guys, some other board members, Oliver Kahn, hoping that because they're in the same family, they'd lead the club the exact same way. But everything fell apart and there was disaster. And so they needed to come back and set it straight. And so our board members, our old board, had to reconvene to fix the club, pick a new board. I mean, they brought in Christian Freund. They brought in Jan Dresen. They're thinking of bringing in Max Erbel from Leipzig, which I don't. Bill just really wants him here. There's no way Erbel leaves Leipzig in the middle of the season. That's stupid. That's dumb. And Erbel already said he's focused on the season with Leipzig, and he has a contract at Leipzig. Why would we want Erbel? Why would we want a board member who's kind of like a sporting director on the board, but then we still have a sporting director and then a technical director? Why do we have three positions that could really just be done by one guy and his team? We should just have Christian Freund, who talks to the board about transfers, and that's it. We don't need a board member who talks about what Christian Freund talks about on the board. We need as few board members as possible to make decision-making easy. We don't need 10 people giving their opinions. Who needs 10 people's opinions? We need one guy that really knows ball, that can educate the other guys that also kind of know ball, and then they can make a decision. That's good. That's how this committee approved. Look how disastrous our transfer committee was. This is proof that committees don't do anything good. You can't rule any country by committee. That there's a reason you have a president, a prime minister. There's always someone at the top that makes the final decision. But when you have 5 people or 4 people or 3 people or 6 people that give their opinion, all you have is just dialogue and nothing ever gets done. So I just think we should abandon the concept of having 50 board members. It's stupid. Just have 3 people that know ball, the CEO, and the CEO should really be involved heavily with the footballing aspect as well as the business aspect. And then you have your chief financial officer that work with the CEO to understand the finances of the club. Then the sporting director who comes in and goes, yo, I got an idea. Let's sign this player. And then they sit down and go, oh, what's the finances? How much could this cost us? Okay, cool. Then they give the green light or the red light to the sporting director to do the next move, whether it's to stop pursuing the player or to open negotiation with the player's club and their agent. It should be that simple. There's no need we need 50 different positions. The point is, the old guys have come in and rebuilt the board, and hopefully the board we have now adds structure to us for a long time, and we can get back to not losing in Champions League quarterfinals and round of 16 games, because it's getting depressing. I'm starting to feel like a PSG fan, bro. We out here getting cooked in the quarterfinals. We used to be guaranteed semifinal every year, basically. And you know how close the semifinal is to the actual final? It's like the last 4 teams. We were always one of the last 4. I want that. I want that again, man. Like, if it means we lose, yeah, that's fine. We lose in the semifinal. But this quarterfinal, it's like we're losing while there's 8 teams left. Losing while there's 16 teams left. We're one of the 16 that got knocked out. Crazy. All right. No player is bigger than Bayern. Yes, that's true. All right. Well, guys, hit the like button. Let's get to 60 likes. We got 67 people watching. That would be amazing. 67 likes. Or 67 viewers, 60 likes. Just makes sense, right? So look, we're not going to lose Davies and Musiala if we have a project and can push forward. We're not going to lose those players. What we need to do is just do what we've been doing. Well, not been doing for the last 3 years. We just need to get back to the drawing board, make sure we get a great world-class DM in January, or if they're not world-class, very close to it. We need to just get everything smooth with the club, get the club running like a car with great engines and great lights. Everything's working. There's no check engine light. There's no tire pressure gauges doing something. None of that crap, right? The club's running smooth. AC, air conditioning, heater, cooler, whatever. It's all good. Players like Davies will have no choice but to sign a new contract and sign their life to us. Musiala, he's going to sign his life to us. And we can chill, man. I don't think Musiala and Davies are leaving Bayern anytime soon. I don't see it happening. Davies is 22. Why the hell would he leave Bayern? We're not Leipzig. Why would you leave when you're winning things? Now, these fans think players see things in the vision they do. They think, oh, the Bundesliga is easy. The players are bored. That's dumb. If football is your job, you're telling me you're making more money doing an easier job when you could be working at a different company doing the same job but harder and less money? Why would you do that? So, yeah, these guys are weird. But as long as your company is one of the best companies in the world and you really can't upgrade, then there's no need for them to ever leave. So, yeah, Bayern just need to stand their ground and show the players and the fans that we are well run. And, Uli Hoeneß and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge can go back to retirement for once, because these guys are getting heart attacks every time they see us play. This guy just literally said, get half of Leverkusen's team, get half of Leipzig's team. If you think we need to get Granit Xhaka, you're kind of out of your mind. Xhaka's a good player, but he's a Leverkusen level player. At Bayern, just like at Arsenal, his deficiencies would show. Danny Olmo is a good player, but again, not Bayern level. Olmo is on one day a complete and total magician. On the other, he's a ball retention maniac, losing the ball every 2 seconds. I like Danny Olmo, but unless you watch him week in, week out like I do with Leipzig and watch Xhaka and Frimpong with Leverkusen, I watch these teams. You won't know what I'm talking about. You'll think, well, Olmo, I saw that one highlight reel. No, watch the real games. You'll know what I'm talking about. Danny Olmo sometimes turns into a literal magician, just unplayable, or he loses the ball every touch. And when I say lose the ball, I mean unforced. Not like, oh, he got pressed and lost the ball. That happens to anyone. But he just starts making he spams passes. So these are not the kind of players we need at Bayern. And I know whenever he has another great performance, everyone's going to start gassing it up on Twitter. Judge football on games and not stats, not highlights. Okay. Simmons is actually a good name in there. If we can't get Florian Wirtz, Xavi Simmons is probably the first alternative I'd look at. And then you got guys like Lazar Samasic, and there's some other dudes. Xavi Simmons, I think he's going to stay at Leipzig because Max Orbel basically publicly said they're going to try to keep him beyond 2024. And I think Xavi Simmons should stay at Leipzig. He'd be stupid to leave and go to PSG, where we all know what's going to happen. We know it's scripted. This thing is scripted. Xavi Simmons is going to pack his bags at the end of the season, if he goes back to PSG and not to Leipzig to stay permanently. He's going to go to PSG, and they have Bradley Barcola. So it's funny, right? This is why I think he's leaving permanently. There's probably some sort of verbal agreement with Leipzig and PSG that they have an option to explore to buy him. Because I also think the only way Simmons could have gotten out of PSV and gone to an upgraded club like Leipzig was to get PSG to activate his buyback clause. I think there's a lot more going on there. Because why didn't he just stay at PSV if it was all about developing further? Because it's not like PSV are that much different from Leipzig. And also, why didn't he just stay at Leipzig? This is what I'm saying. PSG fans are saying he's not experienced enough. I'm like, no, this dude had one of the best seasons in the Eredivisie. He's in his national team. He's 20. He's good. And then they went and bought Bradley Barcola, who's a winger, but Xavi is also a winger. So you guys get what I'm saying here? There's just too much going on where I'm just like, yeah, that's very odd. That's very odd. So I think what's happening with Xavi is he ain't going back to he can't go back because you got guys like Barcola. Where does he play? He's not their Mbappe replacement, surely not, right? I mean, they got Barcola. They have Emery Zaire. Bro, they got like 50 different players in attack. They have Gonçalo Ramos, Kolomuani. Where does Xavi fit? Exactly. So I think Leipzig are probably going to sign him, and he's going to stay at Leipzig for 2 to 3 years, become a very talented 23-year-old, and make a move to Man City, replace Kevin De Bruyne. That's how I really see him going to City. I think he's perfect to replace De Bruyne and to replace that creativity. And I just think if he stays at Leipzig, he establishes himself, probably wins a few trophies at this rate because they might win a cup again or even the frickin' Bundesliga. And yeah, so that's what I see happening with Xavi Simmons. So I don't think Bayern will ever get in that equation. And I wouldn't want us to because he's very similar to Musiala in terms of the positions they take up on the field, central, dribbling, So unless you wanted Simmons to sit on the bench, then yeah, it makes no sense for him personally, because why would you sit on Bayern's bench when you could be a starter? So yeah, that's how I see it. I don't think that anything's happening with Xavi Simmons, but it's a good alternative to look at. I also want him to stay in the Bundesliga too. That's why I want him to stay at Leipzig, because I love watching this guy, man. He actually has a very nuanced understanding of the game, not just stats. The stats are up there, yeah. I mean, 3 goals, 4 assists, but it's the game intelligence, man. He knows when to speed things up, when to slow him down. In fact, if I was Manchester United, I would probably, I wouldn't sign him right away. This guy is better than Bruno Fernandes. I would be looking to get someone like Bruno out and bring Xavi Simmons in. Bruh, his market value is 40 million. Oh my gosh, bro, that's a lot. PSG bought him back for 4 million, dog. Oh my gosh. That's actually crazy. So how does that happen? How is he left PSG on a free transfer, went to PSV? How does it happen that why is there a buyback clause? Why would PSV agree to that? They should have just paid PSG a few million and just trusted that Xavi Simons is talented. Why do they do all of that? Very odd, huh? How's Gravenberch doing at Liverpool? So he's doing good. Liverpool fans are saying they're very happy with him. I also watched some highlights. I couldn't catch the full Leicester game, so I watched some Gravenberch player compilations. He looks very, very. Oh shoot, Philip Hines. There was an interview from Xavi Simons I wanted to read, so I want to pull it up and watch it later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. I want to watch Xavi Simons' interview or read it if I can't watch it because I'm really interested in that guy, man. I like his. I love footballers they're just calm. Matisse Tell also had an interview. Speaking of Matisse Tell, dude, that kid is just. I love Matisse Tell, man. He just said the season goal is 15 goals, 5 assists. You guys think he can do it? He told Le Equipe, "I'm with Bayern. It's a club I've admired since my childhood. My dream is to be the number 9 at Bayern one day. It's my goal to score 15 goals and 5 assists this season. The club has awakened a certain ambition in me." I mean, how many goals? Isn't he on 5 or 6? Bruh, nah, that's crazy. This kid has scored more goals than Chelsea, bruh. Nah, for real? No way. Boy, ain't no way Matisse Tell got more goals than Chelsea. Chelsea have scored 5 Prem goals, right? 5. So keep that in mind. Matisse Tell, how many goals does he have? 3 goals in the Bundesliga, 1 goal in the Pokal, and 1 Champions League goal. Oh my gosh. Chat, Matisse Tell has scored the exact same amount of goals this season as Chelsea. Wait, Matisse Tell, I got a tweet. Matisse Tell has, he technically, that assist, it didn't count as an assist, but that moment in the Pokal should have counted as an assist because, come on, he's literally the one that crossed the ball. And look, I think man, it has to be an assist. It's not. I guess they're saying the defender defended it but got unlucky, and then Chupo hit it back into the goal. But it's like, come on, it's almost an assist, man. It's like so close. Like if he didn't make that cross, then the goal never happens. That's the point, right? Whatever. I'm tired of these stupid records, anyways. Assist, goals, all that nonsense. All that matters is tackles completed. We celebrate tackles around here, guys. So yeah, Gravenberch is apparently doing really good at Liverpool. Liverpool fans are happy. I saw his highlights. He's growing in confidence. 2 starts already. Probably more than, actually, is that more than both seasons at Bayern? I think so, yeah. See, everyone kind of conveniently forgets that Gravenberch, I mean, it was 1 full season and then another season where it was just, bro, I know y'all hated, he had a nice assist against Leicester. I forgot about that. Bruh, there was like 4 players covering the space, and he somehow managed to get a pass through to Gakpo with a good finish. So, yeah, no, I have to say, Gravenberch is a very, very, he's a good player, man. He's clearly talented. And I don't know why it didn't work at Bayern. I don't know why these coaches, because it's not work rate. Because it's funny, because Bild came out with an article saying, oh, the Gravenberch's training performances have been amazing. Like they were really praising him in training. So I'm like, this guy can't be that bad of a trainer. Even Bild is it. And Bild's typically racist, I think. Oh my gosh, speaking of racism, did you guys see what Napoli did to Osimhen? Ah, I don't like people that use race to justify anything. Like if someone insulted a player that happened to be black, people would just say it's racism. I know that's a thing that happens a lot, but what I don't understand was how Napoli didn't find a problem. I mean, it's racist. Like it's rooted in that racism because Varas, their graphics of him is Maradona putting the crown on his head, like transferring the crown, and we're talking about Varas, right? But when it comes to Osimhen, they're making fun of his penalties. They're saying his hair looks like a coconut. Like the official Napoli page, I understand you can make fun of your players, but no, you shouldn't make fun of your players. Just you don't make fun of any of your other players. That's the point. It's just, oh man. And this is the same league that, in order to combat racism, they came out with monkey graphics. I'm like, bruh, Italians are just the most. Italians are like European black people in America, bro. They just have zero filter. Yeah, I think a comedian said that. He really said Italians and black people are just similar, black people in America. But like, bro, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. How do you, in order to combat racism, just release monkeys? Why? Because that can't be why. What? That's so crazy. Nah, man, Italiano. No wonder these guys aren't trying to go to Italy, bro. Let's send Gnabry there. He might straighten up after seeing them ooh-ahs come out of the crowd. Ah, man. What's the point of life? To live and to breathe. What Napoli without Kim is crap. That's good to know. Yo, Kim read the room, bruh. Kim and Jay left he read the room. He understood, yo, they get rid of these black people. I'm next. Yeah, man. I'm next. Send Gnabry there, man. Bring him out. Your talk is so inspirational. What are you saying, bro? I'm out here inspiring, making these jokes. Makes me cry seeing them play for Livershite. Gravenberg's dribble for the first goal was beauty. It's annoying, right? It's almost like we messed up. Jeez. See, one of the best Gravenberg performances was when he came on and anchored the midfield, where he just got on the ball and created passing angles and all these things. And we ended up equalizing the game because we were down in the game. We were down 1-0, and Gravenberg came on and cooled the game down and controlled it. We had so much control in that. It was under Nagelsmann. I don't remember. Was it Wolfsburg? It might have been. But it was just, it's like, this guy's talented. He clearly has the ability to. Liverpool's midfield is just so. Yo, Dominic Zabot. Jobo. I miss that guy, man. Jabozley, man. My guy, man. My guy. Why is he at Liverpool, man? He was my guy, man. I really liked him as a player. I like his personality. I like the way his ball striking. I think in our team, only Matisse Tell comes. Well, I guess Kane too. Bro, his ball striking is something else, man. The accuracy as well as the power is just crazy. He is a baller. Liverpool did a really good job signing. I thought he could have stayed at Leipzig for an extra year, but I guess he saw an opportunity to just go start at a different team that was at a higher level. and he took the opportunity. And yeah, that's what happened. I have never understood why people watched race cars drive. I don't understand it. And the cars don't even look that good. It's like these weird. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't tell you what my favorite Formula 1 driver is cuz I don't know a single one. I just know one of the drivers cuz he was complaining about racism. Some dude named Hamilton. Other than that, I don't know any other. I don't know what the point is. I don't get it. I don't understand. I know there's a skill level to driving, just like almost anything. But I just don't understand. It's like horse racing. I don't know why people watch it. I don't. I guess maybe you bet on a horse so you're trying to make some money. But I can't sit there and go, wow, look at that horse doing what horses do. Ooh, look at that one other horse. I don't get it. I don't get it. What did I think about Peretz? I didn't think that much because he didn't do anything. The game was completely one sided. He didn't have to make any saves. I thought I don't know if it's purposeful, but he just dropped the ball. I think it's to start a counterattack. I think it's his style. But at the same time, if it's not his style and he's doing that on accident, then yeah, nah, he's not gonna have a fan in me. You need to attend a race in person. Nah, I don't need to. It's like baseball to me. I don't need to watch it in person to like it because I don't like it. I'm not gonna like it. I know myself. I know I'm not gonna magically go, wow, I'm sitting here watching this game in person and it changed my mind on the sport. No, that won't happen because it's impossible for that to happen because I already made up my mind. Wait, yo, Zidane's trying to join Saudi Arabia? Yo, what the hell? Yo, Zidane's trying to become Marseille's manager, dog. Saudi Arabia is trying to take over Marseille. Wait, no. They appointed Gattuso as the manager. Yo, what the hell? Zinedine Zidane. Oh, give me a sec. What do I think about Ulreich signing a new contract? He signed a new contract? No, he didn't. He didn't sign no new contract. You guys are just kidding with me, man. You're kidding. With the Musiala and Davies situation, I believe that if one of them stays, the other, yeah, they're best friends, apparently. Like, they go on vacation together. Homos. Bayern should sell Sane, Kim, and Neuer. This guy said I'm allergic to these kind of rumors. You start having an allergic reaction. Yeah, nah, me too, man. I'll read it and it just ruins my evening. But once you really think about it, you know it's not happening. I'd rather start Pirates than the new right. All right, well, thank you everyone so much for watching. I gotta go to the gym and to do other things. Mia and Mia and peace. Here's the schedule. We are going to be live for the Leipzig game for sure. There's no way I pre-record that and watch it later. That's not happening. We'll watch it live on the channel. And yeah, it's going to be a fun game. I mean, two teams with, great styles. I don't know about us being with. I think if Tuchel can't beat Marco Rosa a third time, he might need to get sacked, dog. He might need to get. Bro, Atletico Madrid are getting cooked. They're getting piped right now, bro. Oh, never mind. They're winning right now. This is annoying. Why are they back to being? Wait, when did Griezmann go back? That's so funny, and he's doing the things he was doing there before. He's scoring and playing really well. I gotta say, Antoine Griezmann scammed Barcelona. It must have been a money laundering kind of deal. 2019, because Griezmann for such a long time just looked like he was never leaving Spain. But then Atletico come in, sell him to Barcelona, and gain 90 million profit from the time they bought him for the amount they bought him. And then he went to Barca. They loaned him back to Barcelona to Atletico, paying a 10 million fee, a loan fee. And then that man's loan ended. Atletico bought him for 20 million. They literally made 90 million in that whole deal. This is not football, man. That's freaking money laundering. Oh, jeez. I gotta say, it's genius, though, man. It was genius. Only Barcelona could be on the bad end of that kind of deal. Jeez. No one cares about watch along anymore. Yo, damn, man. Yo, what the heck? This guy, bro. Damn. Damn. He said no one cares. All right. Well, let me get out. Since no one loves me no more, you know. Well, yeah, if Barca ever paid them, yeah, good point. No, it was 2019, so they probably already finished paying them. That's why they took all these levers and loans, because they had so many people they owed. Oh, Barcelona should be banned from football because it came out that they've been bribing referees this entire time.